I'm April Hemis. I'm a farmer from north central Iowa. I farm soybeans and corn. I no-till all my soybeans and around a fourth of my corn I can no-till on my lighter soils. Well, I have some cover crops that will be going into soybeans. So what I do is fly over cereal rye over my corn when it's standing. Now last year it was very, very dry when I did that, so not a whole lot came back up, not as much as I usually do. So we'll terminate those, and then that's about 200 acres, and it'll go into soybeans. So the thing I'm most worried about is the lack of moisture. So I'm going into a fourth year of a drought, and that really worries me. And we've had record highs lately. In February, my neighbor was out, I just took a picture, my neighbor was out tiling, putting field tile in February. So that's never happened before. So the concern and lack of moisture is top in my mind. So, but for no-tilling, that works pretty good. I'll just set the planter a little bit deeper and have at her. Yeah, for soybeans, it's usually around 2 inches. But I'll probably, set it down just a little bit more, depending, because I'm no-tilling, so I really want to get that seed to soil contact. So I'll put it in there. Corn, it'll be a little bit deeper than that. So, and it's worked good. When I've tried that before, it's worked good in the drier conditions, just to get it down to moisture. Usually I get 4 to 6 or 8 inches of growth in the fall, and I did in some spots. You could tell where I had moisture and where I didn't. So the termination won't be any different. It just depends on when I can plant. So they'll get out. I'll get out there and terminate the crop. What I do is spray with Roundup to kill it, and then I usually do that the day of I plant, the day before, or the day after. That one's pretty easy. But I like to plant into green, so I like that cover crop to still be green when I plant in there. It just goes a lot easier. So that's how I time my terminating the cover crop. I really embraced no-tilling, at least 25 or 30 years ago. And so when I came home to farm in 1985, I'm headed into my 39th year, it was probably in the early 90s where, I was playing around with it and somebody had a drill, and my grandfather had a fit because you can't do that. And I said, Gramp, we're gonna try it. And then there weren't soybeans coming up, like every inch, like the old days you plant. So then when he saw how they came up through the corn, how they yielded just as good, if not better, than my conventional till. So it saved the tillage, the soil and everything else, and made a believer out of him. So if I could convince my grandfather back in the day, and then after that, I just never looked back and stayed with no-till.